Hello, everybody, and happy Saturday. Whoa, show my chat. Okay, I need to see the chat so I can see everybody. Okay, how's everybody doing? Well, we're going to wait a few minutes. And this is the binder. So I have to tell you, if you purchase the kit, I'm going to go through that real quick with you. You did get the instruction sheet. You can go ahead and follow along, especially, hi, Lenny, especially if you have the Pooh collection, maybe you bought it all and you're like, I've got an album sitting here. You can follow along and make it with any album. This is the Simple Stories class that they provide to retailers, and then we kit it up. My kits are always, I think they're better because I do add what you need for your kit. It's not just here's a list. Now you go find the rest of your stuff, right? Ribbons are going to be different than what you saw on the picture of your instruction sheets, or maybe what you've seen others. Hi, Vicki. But also, let me grab the instruction sheet. You're going to notice my cover is different. I'm sorry, it wasn't enough. But you may like it. Very simple. So if you purchase the kit, you did get the written instruction sheets. These are provided to retailers who sell the kits. So you do have to buy a kit, but unfortunately we're out and Simple Stories is out. It is sold out and Simple Stories is sold out. They're still hopefully getting more stuff in, which is nice. Then I can kit it, video's done, and you can go and make this. Hi, Rhonda. Well, if you notice the front, I mean, it's cute, but it wasn't enough for me. I needed more. So in your kit from Country Craft Creations, you will have gotten the ribbon. And then there was not a lot left over, but I did use like every sticker on your sticker sheet. And oh, thank you. So I needed to add more. I needed more color, but I did use some of the basics now. One thing with this kit, which would have hiked the price up, there was a die for this photo spot. I'm going to tell you the measurements and how to make it. We don't need a die for this. We're crafters. And like I said, the price would have been a lot more when you start adding dies. So we're just going to cut them and we're fine. And then so we want to get the front done today. Going to probably be in two parts because we've got to break for lunch, and then I'll come back on and I want to show you because you'll notice in your kit ribbons are different. Yes, and you're going to notice you had some different ribbons like pom-poms, but everything I followed sort of because they were totally out of the brads, which also had some of the chipboards on it. And so you will have gotten some dots, which I just found mine, so I need to keep them handy. But you're not going to even notice that they're not on here. So let's walk through the album real quick. This is very cute. You will want your foam squares, but I'm going to show you in some spots we need to change on using them because they get stuck on the other elements. We don't want that. Whoops. See, there's one. So we are going to be changing this page just a little bit because these two get stuck on each other. I don't like them to get stuck. You're going to notice I have things on some areas a little different. Again, because I did not have those little chipboard pieces, but that's okay. You got an extra sheet in your kit, and you'll see that in a minute, that had the 12 by 12 journaling. We needed the 12 by 12 journaling spots. So that was extra in your kit that Simple Stories did not have on the list. So if you got your kit from somewhere else, you won't have a couple of these things. And then, like I said, I added stickers because there was a few left. But overall, I think it's adorable. So here's that. What do you call these guys? Photo spots. Insta camera. Anyway, it said the die, but it was too expensive. So we're going to just cut it. I know the sizes for those. Super cute. And I really like how it turned out. Again, I added added sticker sheets, extras from that extra 12 by 12 you have. And then I also used the 12 by 12. That's what I wanted it for, was more of these journaling spots. We need these cute journaling spots. It was just too plain. We needed, so you will have gotten those. Then here we have just a cute little pocket, which is great. It is big, so you can put in loose photos. Okay. And a border punch. I did use a border punch, so you might want to grab yourself a border punch. This is backwards, so I'll do it the right way. Again, I changed this so we have more. Let me show you when we get here. Instructions do not show this, but I wanted more photo spots. Okay. And then the ribbon, like I said, is different, but that's going to be normal. Now you got pom-poms with my kits. You got red and we have white. And it just needed them. And it's, oh, I didn't show you. So the white, see the white is on the pocket. And then look how cute. Yeah, we needed the pom-poms. So your kit from Country Craft Creations has the pom-poms in white and red. They always show the ribbons that they use, but of course, stores we can't really match it totally. And then there's that 12 by 12, that other journaling spot, because it was just too plain. And of course, Wilbur's going to snore, guys. Sorry. Love this spread. I thought this was super cute. But the way they did it, I mean, you're going to want to put your photo down first, unless you're just going to use it for journaling. That's the back. Now this is where I just popped in a lot of the extras, and I just used my stapler because I thought that was really odd that we used the back of that, but it's okay because you can journal on it and your things that are left over. Okay, now let's head to the kit. Like I said, I've got that one area. So that's good that I made it first. And then this is what I had left over from the kit. So you don't have a whole lot, but you're going to have some of your 6x8 pad, and then you'll just have bits and pieces. So you can even go in and decorate more. So that is what I'm going to do for the cover. I'll also just show you the few pieces to lay out here if you want, and you can definitely follow if you don't want to follow the video, except maybe where I put some of the extras if you have the kit. But that's how my cover turned out. We needed more of that happiness there. So let's grab the kits if you have them. I already posted, and I have my white papers. You can't see them, but they're to my left. I have those all cut out because we posted those in scrapbookers. And you would have gotten this bag, which we also have a new 49 and Market kit that's being delivered today, and I can't wait to get started on it, but we have to put it together. So your kit might look like this. No, it should look like this. We have 2 packages of different ribbons for the cover, for the inside, and then your pom-poms. So if you don't have the kit, let me show you what you need so you can make this with us. Maybe you have a binder hanging around. Well, you're going to need 7 sheets of 12 by 12 white matting cardstock. Now, some of your kits will have a variation. I didn't catch it till I was making my book. You may have gotten some white cardstock that I used in my sample I just showed you, but it is our white artisan felt. Somehow it got mixed in. It'll still work. It is a little bit heavy. I just want to tell you, the second set of kits that went out have a heavier white cardstock, but it works great and it has a wonderful texture. But you should have had 7 of those, and you will have that left over from cutting the white list of your 3x4s, 4x6s. get our goodies out. I'd keep your bag for the end so that you can put your leftovers in there if you want to. So we have a 6x8 paper pad, and I'm going to go through, I'm not going to go through the cutting of the white. That was your homework. And I posted that in Scrapbookers, and I posted it in the description, the sizes of your white matting. Now you can follow along without having those cut. You can go back and add that later. But let's go ahead and open our 6x8 paper pad if you haven't already. Now, again, Simple Stories was completely out of, which was very upsetting because here they are giving us kits and they didn't have those brads, you know, that look like brads, but they're sticky. So they also didn't have any more of these. So you may have gotten these. And I, thank goodness, Winnie the Pooh line by Echo Park is going to be combined. Colors are great. I'm not going to open this. I'll be using this. So let me put that over there. Papers. You have your 4x6s or 6x4s. We have our tags. Now, if you got your kit anywhere else, that's all you got in your 6x8 pad. But I knew we needed more. We needed that. We need these journaling spots. So you did get an extra one here with me. You got these. I love journal, or yeah, journal elements because I love them. Then you will have your olive, tomato. I think you have two. You should have 2 tomatoes, 1 olive, 1 mustard, 1 cornflower, and a sticker sheet. We do use this whole sticker sheet. And I have to tell you, you need to be very gentle with this when we do this one. This guy right here, I've torn him 3 times on 3 other stickers. So if you, yeah, I would wait. We'll do this one together for sure. So right now I'm just going to, we're going to be cutting these. But if you have a way to sort these, it's going to be so much easier on you. If you haven't picked up your puzzle sorter, you need to. I forgot to show you. I've been using these because I used them on my other Pooh project. I haven't done the tutorial yet, the Prima flowers from the Home Baker, but I'm going to be using these on here. I want to show you something. So how perfect do these fit? And I am going to add, I'm going to add these flowers. So the Home Baker collection, I did show them, and I showed a couple of others on the Pooh, no, on Friends that I used the Pooh collection, my friends for Ragdan and Andy. So there's Prima flowers. If you want, go look at that video. It shows the flowers that match the Pooh collections, and they're just gorgeous. So I'm going to add those later, but you can pick them up in the at countrycraftcreations.com. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start with my family. If you have a bowl, just go get a bowl. Go get a plate, a paper plate. If you don't have it, anything. So we want to get these out. So one thing I like to do is have 3 bowls. The reason being, we're gonna take the time right now to take out these big pieces. That's gonna be our cover. But you've got a mixture in here. Smaller's gonna stay. My bigger pieces are going over here. So that's our cover piece. I want all my big ones. So like I said, paper plate. Pick these up on Amazon. They're puzzle sorters, and they come in a nice big stack. You'll see us using them a lot. So I'm just going to leave that flower there. And I like to lay these out because trust me, they are hard to find. So this is also my cover. I'm putting it with the big because I made the mistake and cut it last night on my cover accidentally, and it should go all the way across, but you don't really notice. But I don't know why I cut it. That's a smaller flower. Now see, we have all these other little shapes. That's the cover. And all these little hearts. I couldn't find a bunch of pieces because they're so little they fall. And then once they're gone, trust me, they're gone. The dogs eat them. Okay. We don't need these right away, but we want to do this right now. I'm going to do the same thing with this. So I cleaned out my puzzle sorter because I like to sort the small from the big. If you want to keep this, you certainly can. Right now, I'm going to take everything that looks like a journal spot with a graphic. So a journal spot and a graphic, and then a larger journal spot with a graphic and without a graphic. So let's just get these guys sorted to make it easy. Now it's these little guys right here that I kept losing. So I was missing some. And I didn't get them on my album because I can guarantee you they're in Charlotte's mouse somewhere. And that's probably in the backyard now. So they're gone. Lost that one for a while. And this little guy. It's only taking us 5 minutes, but it's going to be 5 minutes well spent. Because I also lost these and ended up misusing them. I don't think we used any of those, but we'll make sure they're here. Okay, my longer journal spots that do not have any space on them. So there's Piglet. There's Pooh. I lost one of those too on the original album. So see, that's one of our large ones. One of our little. I'm telling you, these, I think it was $15. You can get the puzzle sorters. This one's the 8x8. You can get them bigger, smaller. You can get them on Amazon. Get 2 or 3 sets. They're well worth it. Well worth it. Now we have like these banner pieces that we'll be using and some border pieces. Okay. So I'll let you guys have a second there to kind of sort these out. And the nice thing is, sitting on your desk, they don't move. Now, traveling with them, things will move, but see, and then I've got, this is what was missing. They don't have anymore. But that's okay, because you don't even notice it. And then it's all my other Pooh from my friend's album. So this has kind of become my Pooh collection here. And then while you guys are still sorting, I'm going to go ahead now and open my binder. And I'm really liking this binder. I like the wood grain. Just throw that in the garbage. And throw this in the garbage. No, we're not keeping it, Tiffany. And then I take my binder. And we're going to kind of, it's a little stiff. It'll get better as we work with it. Okay, how's everybody doing? So now I'm going to just go ahead and stack. My puzzle sorter is ready. Just look up puzzle sorter. Like I said, you're going to want some of these. We don't need that for till the second half. My goal is not to lose anything while we're doing our video. Okay. First thing that I like to do, and if you're going by your instructions, I did set my book up to the instructions. I just take everything out. Put my plastic sleeves to one side. And because I already completed the album, I can set it up with you. But we're going to start with the back because it just makes it easier for laying it out. So I hope you guys don't hear him snoring. He gets quite relaxed when I'm doing videos. Don't ask me why. So the first ones we're going to work with are our journaling papers. Love them. I just love them. And I love how we make them a little bit heavier. We're going to use them to mat on. So I'm going to go in to 3 papers, and you want to look for, I'm starting at the back too. They have the dots. So the dot grid, and it will go down first. It's our last page. Then the next one should be on the very back of your stack, and it is the grid paper. That's our cute little layout that's going to happen there. It's the grid paper. Okay, now we can set those down. So right now I'm going to put my 6x8, which is your full sleeves, in a pile to my right. Okay, 4x6s, they're in pretty good order. And then my 3x4s. So you have 3x4s, 4x6s, and then your full 6x8. And I'm just going to set those in piles, then we don't have to sit here and sort through. Let's grab a 4 where there's 4 3x4s. Then you want 2 slots that are 6x4. And one thing to remember, if your simple stories, it's embossed in silver, they should just all be going the same way. So if you have your simple stories at the top, that means your opening is in the wrong spot. It's in the bottom. So always make sure the embossed simple stories on your envelopes are on the bottom. Okay. Now the next one you want is this grid line paper. So there's a lot of different ledger sections, and it's going in next. Oh, I goofed here. I'm sorry. You have the 4x4s, and then we have the 2 3x4s and a 4x6. I forgot to separate them out. So the next one will be our 2 3x4s and a 6x4. Then you want the 4 squares of 4 3x4s. Excuse me. Okay. Now our next is from our paper pad, and it's our graph squares. And I love how this goes from being so flat to chunky. That's my favorite part of these albums. I'm just loving them. I know everything, everything has a cycle where these were the big thing and then they weren't, and now they are again, just like layouts. So we have some fun new things to learn, and I'm loving it. So this is a full 6x8. And if you have trouble working with your hands on albums, these are a great thing to play with, so that you don't have to make your pages or albums. I do wish there was more pockets, but we could always make them if we want them, just because they do have the wood grain paper. These are fun. I like the pockets. And then our next is going to be 6x4. Well, they have some new ones, but Lenny, wait till you see the new collections. I don't know if you're going to feel that way. I got a sneak peek. There's one I'm absolutely in love with, and I will be using, and we are going to order it heavy. It's like the winter one. I hope they come out with another like classic. Because yes, the classic Pooh, classic Disney, classic Mouse. Oh my gosh, in love. I have so much of it. So if you have classic Mouse, you can make this album just kind of follow along. You're going to love it. I know. Isn't this one? I'm sorry. They hit the ballpark. This one, love, love, love. Okay. So the next one I want you to take out, but we're not going to put it in our book. We need to cut this. And it's oh, wait a minute. I do admit the Tea Garden. Oh, these spring lines. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Yes. Tea Garden is adorable. I love everything about it. The springy. And you could have your little grandson out in the garden digging dirt and have those little worms. It's so cute. So we have the grid paper, but put this aside. Okay. It is going to go here, but we've got to do some altering to that paper. Okay, our next one is 6x8 sleeve. Yeah, I am so in love with this one. Of course, my grandson, my kids all had Pooh rooms. So the next one is again, that ledger paper. You know, we grew up with Pooh, so we just love it. And then your next one, they're hard to see. 2 3x4s and a 6x4. This will be the last of that. And we've now put all of our 3x4s in. Now, the line ruled, we're going to set this aside. We also are going to adjust this. And this is where I also use a border punch. So after you get your book together, grab a border punch, whatever you want to use, a scalloped. Like I said, I'm kind of hooked on this one because it gives the stitching. Extremely old. This punch is probably 15 years old. But like we talked about in my other video, don't get rid of any punches. They're coming back. Then we want our last, that darn page there is sticking. Our last 6x4s. And on top of that is your last 6x8. Okay. And then our very first sheet will be our lined notebook paper. So if you are also a fan of ring, if you've got the enforcers, you can go back and do that. I don't have any. I'm looking for some to bring in for our store. So we really do need to have them in stock. But you can also use a punch, which you can't get a hold of that punch anymore. And I used to have it and I got rid of it. And it will punch these. So, oh well. Now we can close this. Our book is together. As I work on it, I do take out each page and I put it back. That way we're not going back in trying to figure out, oh my gosh, where did this one go? Even though you have your instruction sheet to follow or this video. Okay, let's put our book aside. We don't need it right now. So we are going to get out our instructions and your cutter. This is where I've got to show you some things. If you already went through and cut, you may have found I cut a little different than what they give here because, well, it doesn't make sense to me sometimes. You will have this 5x5 piece. Anywhere you see having this piece left for your die, and I want you to write this right now. Grab your pencils, and where it says to cut for your die, unless you have your die. So here's what size we're going to cut these pieces that say 5x5. You're going to cut them 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, that is the size to cut that photo die. Anywhere that we use it now, the little white piece that goes on the inside to make this look like a Polaroid. So you're going to cut that 3 by 3. And that is almost the same size as your die. You can't quite get the size of the die because of the way, you know, it cuts. But I measured it, and this is very close. And that is going to, we're going to be cutting those out of a plaid. I think we only cut 3 of them. But you definitely can cut more because they are cute. But also the Polaroid size. This is a great one that you have so that you can always make it for any project. Okay. So we are going to start cutting. And make yourself a space so that you can make your nice little piles. I have my nice little white piles to my right. I wish I had a great big so I could show you. I've got them all in their proper stacks. So hopefully I can go right through this if I get going here, right? All right, let's start with our tomato. Now, like I mentioned, you can cut yours however you want to figure out your diagram, but here's what I do. When I see something like the tomato and I see some odd sizes up here, I start at the bottom because that's a nice clean cut. There's no reason to have all this here in the center. Well, in my opinion, I'm not, their instructions are great, but I do it my way. As Tanya would say, you can do it their way, but it will be wrong. No. So the biggest piece, though, we've got to cut is 8 inches. Now, when I cut this at 8 inches, that's going to leave me the 4 by 6 piece. Now you have that second, let me show you. You should have the second. Did you guys all get 2 tomatoes, or was there only one? I can't remember. Lenny, did you have 2 tomatoes on your thing? Okay. Well, I'm going to have you. Okay, you have 1. So cut. I want you to do this. I want you to cut 6 inches. Oh, yeah, I don't know why this kid had 2. Okay, somebody's getting 2 in a couple. So I want you to cut it at 6 inches, or you can cut just like the diagram. But here's what didn't make sense to me. 5, that only leaves 4. I mean, so I'm cutting 6 inches by 8. Okay. And again, I'm going to make piles with my colors. Then, see this little guy? This one is 4 inches by 6 inches. So now you're just going to cut this in half at 3. Put that with your red. The next piece I'm going to cut, this is already 6 inches. So now all I have to do is cut a 4. It is going a different direction than what you're seeing, yes, but I didn't just cut it 4 by 6. Just cut it at 4. Then we do want a 1-inch strip. These are for the little photo corners. And we want 2, that is 1 by 1. We're going to go ahead and cut these right now. I'm just going to set him in my extra pile. And we're going to put these in our cutter diagonally. to create our photo corners. And then put them somewhere safe. So I take that back then. Your kit should only have one of each color. It could have two. Okay, so I have those. We have 4 of those. This is going to be what they said for our die, but I don't need to use that whole thing. So I'm going to go 3 1/4. Then I have that left by 4 1/4. And I don't know why, but I get so excited when I have paper left these days. Again, I'm making myself a little pile of leftovers. So you've got more usable leftovers cutting it this way than just to have that strip down the center. But it's okay if you just want that strip down the corner. Now, they have us cutting our tags next, but I'm just going down to these here at the bottom. I just want to get my solids cut. So go ahead and grab your blue. These aren't the proper names, the yellow and the green. Okay, let's start with our green. So I'll take my header off. Again, I'm not cutting it like they said, because I'm going to cut my 4 1/2 first. Trying to get it. There we go. I didn't want to cut my 4 1/2 first. Don't worry about that big piece yet. Then I'm going to cut 6 1/2. Then I want to cut, keep it in the same orientation, 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. Extra pile. You might want to do some punching or something that matches. Now, see this little guy? Let's go with 8 1/2. This is extra. This makes more sense to me than this. And 6 1/2. Okay, I'll be quiet on that now. Okay. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you need one of each solid. Thank you, Lenny. Okay, now our Color Vibe Mustard. I love this color. Always have. It's a fun color. So I'm going to cut it at 7. And then we want 2 pieces that are 5. Extra pile. Now we have a 4 by 6. So this should be 5 inches. Yeah. Let's go 6 inches. Another nice big piece if you have something else you want it for. And then we will cut at 4. And I do keep all these strips because they, you know, if you make a boo-boo on maybe one of the graphics that have a border, so you can always pull from your scraps and it will still look nice. Okay. Now we're going to move to our cornflower. Favorite color. So once again, I'm going to go 4 1/2. Then I'm going to cut 6.5. Then you need 2 3x4s. So again, we have a 4.5, a 5.5, so we won't quite get them from this side. And so I'm going to cut where it says you have a 5x5. Can you guys see right here? For that die, we're going to cut this at 3 1/4. Well, let's go with 4 1/4 first, because then we have a much nicer piece left, and then 3 1/4. So that will be, that's our taking the place of our photo die, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now from this one, we only need a 4x6. So put it in your cutter just like this. This is my, it's what, 7 and, not quite 7.5, 7 3/8. I'm going to cut it 4x6. Okay, Tanya, I'm not sure if you're out there, but I want you to say, I'm proud of you. I'm telling you, she's rubbed off on me. Now look at these great pieces we have left. And when you're doing a project, they are great pieces, because if you make a boo-boo, you're not like, oh my gosh, there's no way. There is no way you could get something else out of there. So this, I mean, it's up to you, but that's how I cut it. See, are you proud? Okay, I don't really need these. And let's get them out of the way. That's what your bag's for. If you don't get them out of the way, you're going to have them in a pile on your desk, and you're going to be just freaking out because you can't find the right sizes. Like I said, if you just can make a nice little stack, and then you could also just take a paper clip if you want. Learn that from Tanya and Betty also, because you're not going to be, oh goodness, you're not going to be digging through piles. That's why we're taking this time, because I want you to enjoy making these. I know that was one of my problems. I was always just so messy with making them. I'm like, and now because I'll have to clean up the mess. I have to go. But you know, when we learn from each other, like Betty, who comes into the store, and then I watch Tanya, it just makes it so much more enjoyable. So now we can put those aside. Instead of making one big mess. Next, you want to grab your sheet of, this one we're just going to set aside. I use that very last. So we want our 6x4s and that one. Okay. And we'll do the same thing again. Put this at 12. Cut the toppers off. Now we're only going to use this one, but we use these two. So we don't use these for anything else. So what I did is I cut them in strips. Okay. You really can't, I mean, I don't cut my strips apart, because if you want to use them as a little booklet, but it's just, it's just easier. So the first one we want is Pooh, and he was on the top. This is going in my bag, because we're not going to be using any of those. Okay, from the second strip, which starts with our plaid, we want this one, our little piglet, and we want these two ends. So my plaid, my little piglet, Hello Friend can go in your bag. You can use that for anything else you'd like. Now, one thing I'm doing it this way too is we're going to be cutting apart some of the little tiny ones. When you get to the little teeny tiny ones, they'll get mixed up in here, and then you're going to be like, oh my goodness. Okay, so we're just going to cut these apart. Love it, but it's going in my bag. Then you want to keep looking up, and how lucky. Those can go in the bag. And I'm not going to cut those apart. Okay. Then we'll wait till you guys get caught up. Oops. So grab your drink. And Wilbur needs a hug. Okay. I'll do the same there. Okay. The second one. Super simple. This is our last one. Just cut these all apart. This is the only one. No, I used it differently. That's okay. No, we did. Well, they didn't like use them all. They put them in pockets, what we don't use. So we just want to cut these guys apart. Yeah, I hate that when that happens. So now I want to make a classic Pooh one. Hi, Denise. All right. If you have your cut aparts, cut apart. And I do like clothespins because they're easy to find. Okay. On my desk. Okay, so we are caught up there. Let me just close my arm. I don't need it for these. The next page. Yeah, we still got some cutting to do. Now, because these guys, even though we cut them, they don't go in the order of how we put them in the book. I do like, well, let's pull them all out and then we'll go back and go over the cutting, okay? So when you get into your your 6x8 pads, we're just going to pull the first one out because we use the whole thing, and it does not need any cutting. This one we need to cut. We'll cut this one. Now we need both of these. So we're just going to come to the back where it starts over again. Oh, I just passed it. So your 6x8 has 2, and you want them both. Okay. Then this one's so darling. I love it. We do want the whole sheet. We also want, well, oh, I thought I used both. I guess not. We want the whole sheet of the next one. And then we do want the second one of that. Because, well, what we do is we just cut out this little corner. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Because if you have the 12x12 papers of this, you might just want to, instead of cutting a whole one. Floral. These were the ones that I mentioned got lost. So we need to, that's why I separate the big ones from the little ones. We want this whole next one. And we do want the second sheet of this. Then we're going to cut our journal tags here. And we also have the 12x12 sheet. And you want the second one. Small blue floral, we're going to take out both of those. I think that one is so cute. I just love it. The touch of pink. And you do want this one. And then we're going to be using this plaid. So you will have this many left in your book. Kind of gives you a, if you want to use something a little different. And that we can just put in our bag. So let's go back to the first one. And this one is our whole sheet. So once again, we can just set that to the side. Now we need our cutter. There we go. Okay, we're going to start with this little cutie with the silhouettes on the front, and we're going to cut that because it's already 6 inches wide, 8 inches long. We're going to cut 4, and then we need a 2.5 inch piece. And we're going to use the back because the plaid becomes those little photo squares. So this is 1.5, and it's already there for us. Scraps. And then you just want to do the same that we did with the red. Angle in your cutter. Oops. And I'll put those with my red ones because they're going to be our photo spots. Not photo spots, but the photo corners. Put your corners in there. Okay, we're going to cut these two guys. So we have two of these. And we want to cut them at 4. And then 3. All together, we need 3 of them. So take your the bottom piece and just cut it 3. We didn't use this one. So we have 3 3x4s. And then on our second one, we just cut this at 2 inches. That we didn't use. Hello, this one we use the full sheet, so you can just put that in your full sheet pile. And the 100-acre wood, we did a full sheet. So these are our three full sheet pieces. You have others if you want to change them. You can definitely use that one other. There's one other we didn't use in there. Okay, this is the little guy that you're going to cut 3 inches by 2.5. So I'm going to use my markings on to kind of keep it close. Put him away. This one is easy to lose. So I'm just going to put it with my tags, my bigger tags. Okay, our floral, just go ahead and cut it in half at 4. And then 1.5. You don't need that other half. Sorry, I was messing up my white pile. I don't want to do that. Okay, these little tags. We're going to use this top one and these 2 bottom ones. Now, I can't remember, but I think I do use one more, and I'll show it to you when we get there. It was one that will take the place of the chipboard that was on our brads that we don't have. Yeah, these are little, and I lost these more than once while making my album, so we'll clip those together. And this top corner of Pooh in his honey jar. One more. So we have 3. Put those together. Okay, our first red gingham, we're just going to cut this in half. Now our next, we want to score at 4 inches. And don't push hard. Just want to lightly score. Just enough so you can fold it in half. And burnish lightly. Otherwise, you don't want the paper to crack. Okay. So I just put those extra 2 in there. And then the multi-journaling, the first one, you just want to cut it 4 inches from the bottom. That's what it shows. Now we need to do a 4.5 this way. See, they're showing it different. This way. There we go. So 3.5. This part you can just keep in case you need a border or something happens to one of your others. And then with friends, you want to cut it at 4.5. We don't use that one. Okay, to our pile. And we're almost done cutting. Okay, this one, basically you can just cut the whole thing apart. We don't use this blue one here. And then it's showing these 3. So those 3 at the top. But I think I do end up using this one because it took the place of something that was missing on that Brad's card. And we're just going to go ahead and cut our journaling pieces apart, you know, where it ends. We're just going to cut them apart. And again, I would paper clip these together. These were some that I lost, and it could just they just get lost in your scraps. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. I need to clean off that edge. Always happens. Whoops. Now we're going to use this journal spot at the top. I believe I did use this, so just kind of keep it up with your corners. If you're putting your the corner ones in a separate spot, keep it handy just in case we do use it. And we do use these little journal spots. We're only going to use the bottom. So again, I would just keep those handy. And we'll clip these all together. Those ones are driving me nuts. I gotta go to the bottom. I keep grabbing that pile that's stuck together. So if you are using something like the classic mouse, very similar, they're cut aparts and stuff. So how fun to remake this using that. Okay, we can put that in our pile. Okay. We're going to start with our lined paper because we're going to cut this. I think I end up cutting it some more, but we'll wait till that point. So this first one, oh, wait a minute. I got some papers left. Put these away. What am I doing? You guys are probably saying, hey, wait a minute. No, we still got a pile here. They were underneath there. Okay. Come back to this one. We need to cut this at 4 by 6. Our first one. And we're going to cut these at 3. The second blue floral, let's cut it 4 by 6. And then 1.5 by 6. That we can put in our bag for something else. Okay, these guys are, we're going to just use these 2 bottom. Because I want to show you something. So after I cut this one on, oh, this one says extra. Oh, this was the one, yeah, that is extra, the top, so that can go in our bag. I don't know why they show 2 of these as extra. That throws me off. Okay. Plaid, because we're going to use the bottom side. And we just want a 3-inch strip. Hi, Maria. Thank you. We want that 3-inch strip. I am going to put it with these cut aparts here. This is our second Polaroid. So I want you just to go 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. That's going to be our little Polaroid. Now for the Polaroids, when I did the cutting guide for your white cardstock, it wasn't on there. So, because I didn't know what size yet, I was going to cut those. And we'll cut those as we go. And they're just the 3 by 3 that I mentioned in the beginning. Come back here. Okay, now we have all of our pieces cut. Okay, let me show you the lined paper. So here's the first one. And then we do the border strip and it becomes a pocket. But they have us cut it. Oh, I see why. Okay, I was going to try and save it, but we can't. So we want to cut so that the holes are to our left. And we're going to cut 3 1/4. So this piece is 3 1/4. The one with the holes is 3 1/2. Then we cut borders and then it will fit, because once we cut the border, it brings it down. And if not, I may have trimmed this off, but we'll see. I believe I did. So we'll just set those aside. And then the second one, that is our dots, we're going to score. So we want to, it's going to look like this. Kind of has one there, but you can't use it. But it has a fold back. So my holes are to my left. I'm going to score it 3 1/2, 5. And you don't score because that should just leave, yeah, that leaves 1 3/4. 3 1/2 and 5. So they just show that it leaves 1 3/4 on the end. Okay. So we've got those two cut and set aside. Now the fun begins. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in and load a few of our pages. Let me show you before we break for lunch. We're going to just do the front and the back pockets. Then we're going to put our sheet. No, we're not doing those. We're going to put our cards in our binders here. Okay. We won't do the decorating. We just want to get them in there. I'm going to have the instructions open, but I'm just going to show you how I did it. So now you want your book. I just used glue. Actually, on it, I did use some of the dots, the square ones. Not these ones, but the glue dots in the blue that are square. But they went fast. But oh my gosh, they will stick really well to your binding. I mean, your plastic sleeves. Okay, the first one we want is that big piece that is 6 1/2 by 8 1/2 green. And we're going to put it down so it sits like it's inside of our corner, those metal corner things. And I'm using the dots. I love the dots on this because it's so Pooh. Or you can use the solid. Now, one thing with our extras, we'll go back and do. Well, and our red ribbon is going to help. It covers this up a little bit, that thick red ribbon. But you can also use some of your leftover paper and make a border there, anything that you like. So let's get that down. Okay, so our next piece is our plaid. Does it, oh, huh. So on mine, I use the 3x6, or the, yeah, that's what we're supposed to use, our 3x6. I didn't ink any of the papers because they're so nice and white. So for the pocket, and then I'm just going to use my dots. I left 2 rows of dots. I love the dots. I set that right on top because then you can put the big long tags. We just want to add adhesive. This is the 3x6. And that's our tuck pocket. Okay, now let's flip to the back. Oh, can everybody hear okay? I wasn't talking for a minute. I'm not sure, but it could be your volume's off. Because everybody, can you hear me okay? Okay, for the back, you just want one of your 4x6 glue. This one is where we did a border punch. If you want, you don't have to. You could even just round the corners. You can do a lot of different things that you want to do. Or you can have a nice scallop punch, border die. This one I do have to line up. There we go. And we do have some construction going on. I apologize if you hear it. But the weather's nice, so they need to get it done. Okay, now same thing. We just want to glue on 3 sides. And I'm just going to put it almost even with my pages because I don't want it to stick out. Okay. Flip my book over. Okay. Let me put these guys. Our first one is going to be our, oh, and that's the one we got to redo. Okay, the first one is this, and it's going to go into our 6x8 sleeve. And because we don't want to have to take it back out again, we're going to go ahead and do the matting for this on the back side. So on our back side, the first thing you want, because we don't do anything to the front. From your red, you're going to want a 4, I believe they're 4 1/4 by 6. No, they're 4x6s. Better turn so I can keep with my pages. And then we want our 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 white photo mat to go in the center. And then the decorating will go on the outside if you want. But let me show you something. I'll pull my album over. If you remember, this is what I want to change. Oh, there it is. This is my favorite thing now because it's nice and heavy. Okay, so we're going to put this down first in the center of our page. I just eyeball it. This is 4x6. So if you need to measure, it gives you whole measurements that make it easy. You'll have about 2 inches on each side. Okay, make sure that glue is spread because you'll just be much happier. On this album, yes, this is Darling, and you do pop it up, but here's the problem. These two are catching, and it's going to wear and tear. I'm going to put this on the inside and move it over. Putting it on the inside and still popping it up, it'll fit inside of this envelope, but then this will be free to be on the outside and they won't catch each other. So that's the benefit of having somebody make this first for you. We get to work out the bugs. So we want to get into our ephemera pieces that we already sorted. And it's going to be these big ones from your ephemera pack. I will still put this on the outside because there's nothing for that one to catch on. But this one, and it is so cute, and I do want it popped up, but you also want to leave room to slide your photo, and then it won't catch. So this top part, I won't add my foam dots. Oh my goodness, did I lose my foam dots? I had them, oh, I moved them where I could find them. Now, if you don't have foam dots or you don't want to use them, you don't have to. See, again, he'll be over here. Just want to make sure I leave that open for the photo. And I know, oh, it's fine. I know foam, the dots take a little bit longer, but they're worth it. And I do use glue with them. So I am putting it, like I said, it's over here. You still can. I'm going to move it over to this side since it's going on the inside. And I have room to bring my photo at least down to there. It'll be fine. And then we'll put it in our, there. Now, it's just as cute, but now it's not going to catch over here. And you're going to be much happier because it's so frustrating when that happens. Okay, now, in a lot of spots, they do tell you to add more than one sheet, one on the front and one back. I don't. So, like I said, it may say to add another one. I'm not sure why, because I'm going to put my photo front and back. So I'm just going to put one down inside. Okay. Then we want to go ahead and grab our pink 4x6 card. Oh, we don't need that anymore. Now on the front, we're going to add a white photo mat, and then the back will be decorated later. So on the front is where we're going to put a 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And again, in the description, I did give you how many I cut, and I believe we cut 14 of these, and they are 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. We're just going to adhere that right down. The rest, when we do the back side, it is put on top of our sleeves. And that's what we'll be doing this evening. Okay. And that's just going to slip in there from the front. The back will be one of our Polaroids, and we will, like I said, it sits on top. Okay, so the next one that we want to go in is our sheets that we cut. Okay. And the holes, of course, need to be to the left. I'm going to do a border strip here, and then I think I'm going to turn it this way and do a border strip here. We may have to you may have to trim that. So holes are on my left, and now we want to punch a border strip. If you're not going to do a border strip, you definitely are going to take about 1/4 inch off. I'll show you how that will look. I gotta go one more. And you want to go slow because you don't want to mess this up unless you have some more, and you don't. First one. You still have volume. I'm just not talking. I'm concentrating. Alrighty. This one is a messy little punch. So it shows we have, there we go. Let me show you. So this one has to go to the back, and you do not want to cover up your holes. So this is where you want to check it. If you need to trim anything, of course, don't trim from this piece, trim from this edge. Okay. Now it does show in the description, if you have the instructions, that it is longer in the back than the front, and that's what you want because it's a little pocket. So what we're going to do on the piece with the holes, whoops, so I'm just going to kind of mark where the hole is and come up and go across my border, top and bottom. And don't worry, you can always wipe your glue off. So our back piece is going to be longer. Check that you do not, if you end up covering the holes, just repunch them. It's okay. And that will be our tuck spot. Oh, whoops, we gotta glue the back side. I forgot. We need to glue along here because we gotta glue our pocket shut. So go ahead and go along the back side of that longer piece also, or do it this way. There we go. Just meant to tuck in some little tags. This is our next one. Again, we'll have some on the outside. So we can take that one out, and it's 2 3x4s and a 4x6. Now the pieces we want, the first one is going to have the little polka dots. Which one was that? Oh, let's see. Oh, it's from your blue pet. It's from the blue. So we want a 3x4. You want a white 3x4 that you pre-cut. And then we want the 4x6. And these are for later. But what we want to do on this one, so it's going to go in this pocket, but we want a 2.5 by 3.5. 2.5 by 3.5. It's going to go on the back. And then the white, everything else will go on top of the cover, so we can just put our white in. Now, again, on your instructions, I believe it tells you to put 2 in there. I'm not. I put 1, photo front and back, but you certainly can if you like. Then we have our 4x6, front and back. So you want 2 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now, a lot of crafters, I've heard, just use these as place markers. I use them as the background of my photo. So totally up to you. If you don't want to stick them on, I guess I didn't know that was a thing. I always just stuck them on. Front, nothing, back on the blue. 2 3/4 by 3.5. And this is a fun spot for those 2x3 photos. If you have a printer that does that, or your photo can also cover the white. You don't have to have it as the background. That one now goes to the top left. Come on, fingers. Oh, those are my 4x6s. Too big. So you want 2 of those. 2 3 3/3 by 4 3/4, 5 3/4, and we're going to have one on each side. Let me get some more light on and see if that helps. We've got a shadow there. There we go. I put it on crooked. We don't want that. Mine's a little off, but inside of the thing, we put a big flower here. Covers up all those little boo-boos. No worries. Plus, you'll have leftovers if you have any little boo-boos. Oh. You know, we had a neighbor walking the other day. She has a beagle. We didn't know this. Never seen it before. Of course, I think it had a bark collar on. I've never known a beagle not to bark, but their beagle didn't bark. Their beagle didn't freak out at the fence. And here's ours acting like they are just total lunatics. And this poor little beagle, he's just walking by, not making a noise. Put mine to shame, let me tell you. All right. Into the pocket this one will go. And then into our book. We'll flip that over so it's on the front side. Okay, our next on this paper, we're not going to do yet. So our next is a full page. We don't do anything to the front page. It's really all done for you, which is so nice. So we're going to do this for the back side. Super cute. And I'm going to take out my 6x8, our full one. Then you're going to want from the cornflower blue, your 4x6. No, excuse me, 4.5 by 6.5. 4.5 by 6.5. So on here, we want our 4x6. Okay. Now, I did do my little... So these are just to give the look that there is a holder there. And I do glue mine completely down. And I believe in your instructions, they put this on the outside. Once again, I think it's too fragile. And I like it. I liked it there on the inside. So that is on page 12. And I believe, yeah, they do put it on the outside with foam adhesives, I think. But I put mine on the inside, so you can do either. Excuse me. I just think sometimes the foam adhesives on the outside, it was getting caught on our next little embellishment thing. So I'm going to put this on straight this time. So I know it's 6 inches. This is 4.5. And I should have that 1 3/4. approximately. And then our white photo mat is 4 by 6. And this is 4.5 by 6.5. About 1 3/4. And I just love our white matting paper. You don't see any glue streaks. It's just, I love it. Now for him, like I mentioned, I am going to just add the glue around these 2 angles so that, and on the inside, because I want to be able to then slide my photo. I can't do it underneath there. Or you can do like the instructions and put it on the outside. We are going to put some other things on the outside, just not this little guy. He's too little. He needs protection. So I want to keep the glue from going on the photo mat so that I can slide a photo under there, underneath there. Oh, perfect. Okay, until we decorate, this one is done. Simple Stories is at the bottom, remember? And then this will be the front. Okay, in between these two is where this sheet goes that we scored. And it has the dots on it. I'll punch this in just a moment. I have my holes to the left. So fold in half. Your holes will be covered, and then this piece goes back over. That will become the little tuck spot. And so now I'm going to go ahead and do my decorative border. And we're going to punch some holes. Okay. Now they wanted us to punch holes one at the top and one at the bottom. So this is where I got out my ruler. So I used just my small, I'll show you, hole punch. So for me, I'm still going to measure to this edge. It's 1.5. This is 1.5. So at 3/4 and 1/2 inch down. So I went 1/2 inch down at 3/4 and marked for my hole. And I did that at the top. And we'll do that at the bottom. So for me, 3/4 down, I just use my second row of dots. Make sure we're lined up here. We're pretty well lined up. So that's why I like dots. You can count them. 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, let me get out my corner, my big chomper guy here. And we'll use it a couple of times. Diane, I do. I know I've seen some people who start at the end. It never comes out for me. I just pick a center and start. Yes. So I'm going to use my smallest. Or did I use my big one? I'm going to use the small. This one gives me the option. We just need a little one. We'll keep that handy. So here we want to get out that blue twine in your kit. I gave you plenty. I had leftovers. I always do. I don't like to give you guys just the bare minimums. And I just tied mine in a knot. I did not try to bow this, but I cut a 2 12-inch pieces. So I'll just kind of set this inside so it doesn't get lost. So fold in half. Now let it come over the top. So when you tie your holes, and if you want brads in there, I mean, not brads, eyelets, you could put eyelets. I think it'll be okay. I don't like to tie it on the front. That's why I let it hang over to the front. Then it hits more on this thicker. I don't like them to hit up here. Then that's when I feel like I get tears. Then I just cut it to the length I wanted. And like I said, in the instruction sheet, you'll see different colors that they used or different twines. But we can't always match. Okay, let's use this end. Then I just hang it over the front. So my knot ends up more on the top of the paper and not on the top of the page. My knot's in the front. And then in this area, this is where I use the extras. Because we have these leftovers. I put the little owl. I put our postage stamp from the sticker sheet. And then this will be extra. That's from that 12 by 12 sheet. I wasn't going to leave them on the sticker sheet. They were like the only ones left. I'm like, oh no, we've got places for those. Okay, now that's going to sit here. And then you'll be able to just tuck the leftover little tags in there. Okay, flip that baby over. And our next is our 4 by 6. So you can pull those out. Where that came from. And this is where we do a lot of the decorating will happen on the outside. Okay. And on the back, we do have a little strip here. And that was a piece that we didn't have because it was on those brads. And I meant to go back and put, but we have extra ephemera. Not a problem. We need to put it there. I forgot last night. So I'll basically, these, we just need 3 of our 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Then we want our cornflower 4 by 6. And you want that second plaid 4 by 6 from the blue. No, it's not on the blue, is it? It's on the, on this one. So I need 3 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. I know, you guys, did you guys see the Mercantile album? I'm stuck on these now, and I didn't before. These were not my favorite things, and they're becoming my favorite things. You can do so much with them. They're really fun. So on this guy, we're going to put front and back. This one, we only put it on the back. And back. Oops. Again, just always make sure that you're smearing it around if you're using glue, and you'll love glue if you do that. I mean, it won't buckle, nothing. So that's going to go into the top. And then flip our plaid over to the back. This paper is so darn cute. It even has that spring look to it. You don't have to just use it for Pooh, but who doesn't love Pooh? Okay. So in the bottom, and you want the red plaid to show out to the front. Oh, that's when, Tiffany, they're out there with the dogs. Oh, how fun. Well, we'll be in Alaska in June. I can't wait, but there will be no sleds. Okay, now this one's going to go down. And our pocket, we don't do anything with. We'll just decorate that later, and we'll put our pom-poms on. But on the back, we do decorate, okay? Excuse me. So let's get that. It is time for a new allergy pill when I'm done. Let me tell you. 5 by 7 white. So let's take this out. It's just easier to work on. Our 5 by 7 whites. Now this is the one where the plaid. We're going to want those plaids. Now again, you can put these up on I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to put them on. I'm just going to put the white paper because, well, the choice is yours. On the original one, plus we're going to have pom-poms here. I put the white, and I did use foam tape. I had to use the strips. So if you want them to give that 3D, or you can just glue them like I just did on the red. Yes. Diane, was that, where was that retreat that you did an album like this with me? Did I just lose one of those? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's there. No, that. Okay, here's what's that one is outside, and I can't make them stop working. Our deck is over 20 years old, and the stairs have been off because one snapped in half. It's just time, you know. And of all days, the weather's great, so they're out there. Oh, that's right. It was the virtual. I did the Simple Stories one. I had so much fun with that. But he's got to get those stairs back on for the dogs. And we got to get new decking down because it's that time of life. No, that's, but sometimes, oh my gosh, sometimes he is that loud. Okay, that one is done. Oh, wrong album. Okay, our next one, you need to take out your 6x8. Let me show you. So our 6x8, we have a red, the tomato red, which was our bigger 6x8 piece. The one we did for Christmas, I still just adore that with the Simple Stories winter lot. I can't remember, but I just love it. And on the front, we're going to have 2 photo mats, and on the back, so we're going to want the plaid 4x6 from this one. It's going to go on the back. So you want your, we need 3 of your 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, get a hold of that. Can't get a hold of it. So one will go here. And 2 go here. Okay, I have the dots on the front, 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Again, use the dots on the paper. And so I'm leaving 1 row of dots on the bottom and 1 row of dots on the top. And then it's just a perfect placement. Okay, so I'm just going to sit it below that first row of dots that are on my paper. So it's still just a little over an 1/8. And Charlotte is in heaven because she's out back with him. Otherwise, she'd be in here crying. So he actually has her out back with him. Thank goodness. Okay, trying to line up my sides. Okay. I scratched my paper. Because this is not solid core, when I scratched it, took a little red off. We'll have to embellish that. Hey, we're almost at the point. I mean, we'll have the book in order. We'll take our lunch break. So we'll have an hour and a half lunch break, and then I'll come back on. But remember, everything is recorded, so if you're not able to, you can go back and watch the replay. And it will stay here on my YouTube for you. But remember, so what you're watching, when you buy your album kits from Country Craft Creations, you get more than just what our lists. So when the Simple Stories or Echo Park or whoever does their retailer class, they'll put it out there with your basic minimums. No, you're getting more. You're going to get the ribbon, you get the white matting paper, you're going to get all the extras with us. So you won't need to buy your kits anywhere else. I'm serious, guys. So now in goes this one. The next one is just our sheet. We'll come back to that. That's more of a decorating. Then we need our 4x4. So for this one, we want, okay, this is not the honeycomb yellow, but it's the yellow that has, you have your honeycomb, and then you've got some yellow kind of flowers with the Pooh Bear on the front. Okay. We want that one. Then we want our last blue flowers, 3x4s. So these are the 3x4s. Then you want a red 3x4. And we want that cute cut apart from Pooh, just the little notes. So those are the 4. And then we need 1, 2, 3. So you need 3, 3.5 by 2, 3.5 by 2.5. And I'm so sorry about the noise. And then you want 1 3x4. So this is the one that we do put in there behind the red. It's I mean behind our Pooh card. So we don't attach it. So we'll just put Pooh and then a white photo spot into our bottom right hand pocket. Now the blue floral with the polka dots, also we don't add anything to it. So we want to put that in the upper right hand. So our yellow and our red, they're the ones that get our white photos. 2 on the red and 1 on our yellow. And for the yellow, like I said, it's not the honeycomb, it's the Pooh Bear out in the floral. It's noisy. I'm sorry, but we'll be done here soon and we'll break. And hopefully that noise will be done. Okay. Make sure Pooh's going the right way. If not, just flip him. And this is going to go at the left hand. And I'll be honest with you, I love following the videos like this. It's so much easier than reading the instructions. I've tried that before, starting from the beginning a couple of years ago, if you remember, and I almost said swear words. I wanted to drink wine. You can't teach this unless you make it. That is for sure. And it just makes it so much easier for you guys out there. Whoops. But if you like to read instructions, you go for it. But I already did it for you. Okay, and let's put one on the back. Okay, put that in there. And into our book it goes. And let's take out the 2 3x4s and the 4x6. We want our last blue. Ooh, that might be my 3 1/4. I need to cut a blue. Or did I put it in here? You guys, we may not have cut it. Okay, let's cut another blue. If you didn't, we need a 3x4 blue. Wait a minute. No, that's our Polaroid. We don't want to cut it. Okay, 3x4. You want the honey. Put that out of the way. And then remember where we fold. We did the fold, or we did the scoring of this one. Because what's going to happen is, actually, they have us going this way. So the plaid is on the outside, but I'm going to use a cut apart too. So I'll have you get that in just a minute. It's going to go like this. So what we need for this little guy here is we need 2 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. That one aside. Our blue is going to have the 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 on both sides. And our little honey here, well, we're going to flip him over. He's going to have a 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 on this side. And because our 6x4 cards, we didn't use this anywhere. And I thought that was that's a shame. We have to use this. It is so cute. But we need to put this in our scoreboard. Okay. You want the top where we're going to score. Did I score half? Yes, I did. 1/2 inch. So I want you to score that at 1/2 inch. So we'll do the bottom first. And one thing that I did is put my 4x6 card here to make sure the length was good, because you can trim it, and it is. So we'll do that one in just a minute. So we're going to open it, and on the inside here is where the first 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 inch card goes. Finish that down. Flip it to the back. And our second 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. Now we did the scoring, so I want you to now fold that upwards. That's going to be our hinge. Okay. But with it open, you're going to add glue inside of this 1/2 inch area. This is not on the sheet. So if you're looking for it, this is what I did, because I had to have this card. It's so cute. It's one of my favorite. What have you got in your mouth? Oh, I thought Wilbur had something in his mouth. And we're going to open it up and burnish. Now you have extra photo spots. Now we're going to open it all the way. Oops, yeah, make sure that's at the bottom. There we go. Okay, we'll start with our honey card. Now, what's really nice too about this, if you decide you want to go back after, you still can ink your edges. It won't it won't interfere with your photo spots. You can go back through, but with there being so much white, I just didn't want to make a mess out of my photo spots, because I did on my mercantile and I was sad, but a photo will cover it. Okay, into there. Now our blue, we just want to put one on the front and we want one on the back. How's everybody doing? Is anybody working along? Because you can make these in one day. Well, we're going to. So you can make it and then go back at your leisure and also just decorate. Okay, polka dot on the front. I just knocked my instructions in the garbage. Don't want to do that. Oh, hi, Deidre. Yeah, it is, but the problem is right this moment. Simple Stories is out of some of the items. They are reprinting. As soon as they do, I will get this back on the website. Um, but we also have another kit, the 49 and Market Wanderlust on my website. You're going to want to grab it. If you did our cottage core, you don't want to wait because it's going to go fast. But yes, we will have hopefully this back in stock very soon. Tanya's been watching the website. Okay, now this one we're just going to fold over. But if you get the kit from me, you get all the extras because I've added extras that Simple Stories didn't. I've added pom-poms. We've added different ribbons and laces because you got to have pom-poms with Pooh. It's just adorable. Now, if you've bought the paper, you can definitely follow along. And this is also extra. You don't get this in the original kit from most of the retailers. I added the extra sheets. Okay, this one, super cute. This one's our 4x6. I think we only have 2 more of these left. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're doing so good. And then it's lunchtime. Okay, we want this, the pretty plaid. I don't want my book to fall. Sorry, it's getting heavier. I love when the book starts getting heavier. It's so much fun. And isn't that just precious? Oh my gosh, you guys. And friendship. So we want the friendship. You want a 4x6. And that's all there is to this. So we put the 4x6. We don't attach it to the back. It's a full-size 4x6 card, and that's on the front. And our plaid will have 2 3 3/4. So we need one for the front, and we need one for the back. The 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And the back side. We're almost there, and we're taking a coffee break. And Deidre, what I'm going to do also, I'm going to double check the inventory to see if I can get some more made. And if I can, I will announce it on the next video, because this is going to be a 2-part video today. Okay, in our folder it goes. And I'm telling you, you got to have pom-poms with Pooh. This is our last one, our 3x4. Super cute. Okay, Mr. Album, I know you're getting heavy. I need some more counter spots, I think. No, I don't. Okay, we want, so again, it told us to put 2 3x4s in this one pocket. If you want to, go ahead. If not, you can just do front and back. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 in. Right hand side, we want a 3x4 red, And for the back, they want us to put, again, it's the Pooh. They're just going to slide in together, but the back side will have a 2.5 by 3.5. The red has nothing. So, well, it has decoration on the outside. So we'll pop that one in. Okay. Then we need, you know what, guys? This is so weird that, did I miss cutting some of the blues? Maybe that's why I had so much left. I need another 3x4 blue. I'm sorry, but I mean, we have it, but I must have, did I skip over and not cut mine? I must have. So I want another 3x4. I was getting excited to start. I think I missed a couple. And then we want from our, now we want to get, now we want to get in here. I don't want to mess that up. And we're looking for a journal card. This one, a little note. Just how much easier it is when we get everything organized. It's just so much nicer in the beginning. That's why I just love, get your puzzle. Get your puzzle sorters on Amazon. You're going to love them. It's just going to make your life easier, and then you can just store them in there until you're completely done. I have, like I said, 4 sets of those. Okay, so our cute little note card just has a white 3x4. And you know what? This is where also I realized, because if you put 2 together, when I counted them, I did not count the ones they put 2 together, but you have enough white paper. But I'm taking that out because, like I said, you can put a picture on the front and back. So if you're right now thinking, oh my gosh, I'm short, you probably are, but just we won't put 2 together. Or you can cut another one from your, because you have your white cardstock in there. So I don't want to glue that on. You can glue it on. I don't want to, though. And, oh, here's my 3x4s. Oh, my goodness. I need to put them back where I had them. My brain didn't see them. So if you still want 2 in there, you go right ahead. Okay, the blue. We need 2.5 by 3.5. But I still do think that you don't need as many if you don't back them back to back. Totally up to you. Okay. Oh, front and back. Now the Wanderlust, if you did our Cottage Core 49 market, again, the Wanderlust will be done in April because they're just getting us our stuff. But mine will have, you're going to have the matting cardstock. I'm sorry, we have to add ribbon. These albums have to have ribbon. Ribbon and pom-poms. And it just also makes it so much fun. It's lit. But I think, oh yeah, it has some fun things on the back. So don't worry if it's a little crooked because we will be decorating the back. So that's going to just slide into there. And when we turn this over, this is going on top of the red. So we'll put this on top of our yellow. We're almost there, and then it's lunchtime. And we need coffee break. So put this with the red. Okay, I think this is fun. And this was such a good idea that they did. So we're going to take out this one. Just take out that first grid paper. Whoops. I have a little bear. He fell. Let me put him back in his pocket. Oh, get back here, guys. There we go. Okay, I think this is super cute how they did this. So we're going to do the front with our last 6x8, and it also just really adds to the weight. So we're going to add this to the front. Again, I'm just using the grids to line things up. Okay, the back. Now you need to grab there's two. Two of our goldish color. I never can remember the name. Okay, the first one will go on this one. We'll pull out our second one in a minute. But they did have us like off center. You can definitely follow your instruction sheet. I'm just going to lay them down. And then on top, we are going to want a 4x6 photo mat. So you want a 4x6 photo mat for each one of these. And again, this was kind of placed off center. So let's put this on first. And for the one on the left, I put the photo mat more to this right side. And it is more to the top so that we're going to have a lot of decorating going on this one. It's so cute with all the Pooh characters. So I just put it down under like one row of dots, about not quite a quarter of an inch, maybe 3/8. Wait a minute, that did, yeah. I mean, no, it's 1/4 inch from the top. Okay. Now I'm just going to center it. So over here, excuse me, over here on this side, I have 3/4. I'm going in 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch from this edge. I'm just lining it up on the lines. Now you'll probably want to keep this one out so we can line it up with the second one, which is our grid sheet, and it's our last page, and then it's lunchtime. We've done so good. Okay. Isn't it cute? So first, we'll just go ahead and I put this now towards the left inside, leaving my border out here on the right. And the same, about 1/4 of an inch. Now, if you want them to be somewhat the same, you can kind of line those up together. And that's close enough. Okay, so the one on the left will go in first. And then for the back of this one, we'll do that when we come back because it's just it's a decorative feature. So we'll put that in the book. And crafters, look at that. We have got the basic building of our album done. Like I said, it's not chunky now. It doesn't have that, I don't know, that, oh my gosh, this feels great feeling. You know that feeling when it gets chunky? What is it about the chunkiness that we love? But look at this. Look how chunky it gets. And then plus when you add more photos, just super, super fun. So again, my cover is different than the instruction sheets, but I'm going to show you both because, well, it needed more. And it is now 12:30. So I'll be back at 2 o'clock. And now you'll just have, you can go ahead and get all your embellishments sorted, all your little, these are, and your pull out your sticker sheets. That's, and just the rest of the papers we cut. And whatever adhesive you, oh, thank you, Bernie. I think it is too. I love spending Saturday afternoons where we're crafting together. I don't have any more of the square dots, but let me tell you what, the square ones, we sell them. They're in a blue. They are amazing. And I'm tempted. I might run over to the warehouse and grab another one, but it did take the whole thing for this because it took a lot, but it's what I used. And I'm telling you, they're down good. I was very impressed with these. So you can also use score tape to adhere these things on. And we're going to use foam dots. So you will use a lot of the foam dots. And I will see you then at 2 o'clock my time. It's 12:30 now my time. And we will have lunch and we'll come back and then we get to continue playing with our albums. See you soon. Bye-bye.